Welcome back. I'm really excited for this conversation today. This is going to be fun.
It is. This is something that Sebastian and I do every single year as the one year closes as another one comes to start. And we've never done it in this fashion before with these specific questions. So I'm really excited to play around and explore. So want to explain a little bit more on why you were inspired to do it this way?
Yeah, for sure. So reflecting, like you just said, it's been something that's been part of our lifestyle now for close to probably a decade, I'd say. I've been journaling consistently. I literally have boxes of journals. And it's been a really good tool for me to reassess and explore to, I like to say complete, meaning I leave in this year. So like what happened in 2023, I'm not going to take into 2024. Is specifically the things that I may not necessarily have liked, or things that didn't work out, or things that I was incomplete about. I get to bring into a completion, meaning an acknowledgement, meaning an acceptance, and then I can step into this next year ahead. And these questions specifically come from Brandon Bouchard. So as a CHPC coach, we get access to a number of different tools and resources provided by the High Performance Institute. And there was a bunch of questions that they sent out. And these were questions specifically, again, on this, reflecting on the past year. And they broke them down into 3 different sections, which is the way they put it. They said, rejoice. So like, what are we doing to bring a sense of gratitude to what we're like experiencing, right? The next one was realigning. So what are we going to do to now move forward into the next year to come? And then the next section was release. What are we leaving behind? So the idea of giving thanks for what we've already experienced, realigning ourselves for what's to come, and then the letting go of what's been, so that we can step into this next year ahead in some really powerful ways, connected, not holding ourselves back in any sort of way, not, I like to say, not putting our feet in quicksand, because I think a lot of us, including myself, really quick to make ourselves wrong and hold on to shame or guilt. And then now we're walking around with a ball and chain in quicksand. So how can we get rid of that so we can move freely?
Yeah, love the way in which you explain that. So we wrote a bunch of questions. If you're watching this, the video of this, you can kind of see us picking out of our stockings that we have here. So if you see them, we're going to put, I guess, like an even amount in both of each other's stockings.
Yeah.
And then we are going to ask each other these questions. So we know these questions because we picked the ones that we wanted to have in here, but we didn't necessarily like think about our answers. So all of this is going to be super raw, super authentic. It's going to be in the moment and fun. And our biggest wish is that you also take these questions into your life and you answer them as a reflection tool for yourself. Because again, this is something I'm actually really excited. We typically do it the morning after the new year has passed. I don't know, we've done it a few different ways, but last year we did it on the 1st, and it was just an amazing practice and tool to really dive into the past year and also to recreate for the next year.
Yeah, for sure. And as Lauren goes ahead and gets herself set up, this is going to be really funny because these things are tiny.
I know, they are tiny. If you hear jingles, it's little bells.
Yes, jingle. I was going to say, if this inspires you to take a practice like this, go sign up for the newsletter, because we're going to be sending out these questions and much, much more in the coming year ahead. In fact, I'm feeling inspired right now to just say, put something together before the new year, send it out. So if you want to explore some reflection, some insight creation, and some gratitude, go ahead, sign up, and we'll put these in the newsletter that will be sent out. Cool. So let's kick it off. How many questions?
Should we do rock, paper, scissors?
Oh, that's the most democratic way of choosing anything. 100%. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay.
I win, like always.
Okay, so what does that mean? Does that mean that you ask me, or does?
Yeah.
Okay.
I asked first. Okay.
Cool. Let's go. Oh man, I'm nervous.
Question number 1.
Yes.
Which habit are you releasing this year?
Which habit am I? That's funny, coming from the background of high performance habits, and my life has been such a routine for such a long time. What is a habit that I am letting go of this past year?
Come on, first one that comes to mind.
Yeah, okay. First one that comes to mind is letting go of the routine. Because even as I was like saying that, is finding myself in this space of consistently creating a routine for my life has put me in a cage. And reading Chase the Wild Goose or The Wild Goose Chase has helped me to realize that. Now, for me, as I'm saying this, it's like, okay, this is challenging to think about because how am I going to keep myself on track and what is my day going to look like and how am I going to keep moving progress forward if there isn't a quote unquote routine? And I guess I'm realizing at this moment that it's not necessarily having a routine is not necessarily, okay, it's this. And this conversation today, at least for me, is going to be like this, a lot of discovery. Having a scheduled day is not necessarily routine, which means that I can have a schedule for my day to come, but it doesn't have to be the cage of routine that I'm going to be stuck in. Because I think for me, what I'm realizing is that routine over time takes away from the magic of what could be. And it puts me in a space where I know what's going to happen. And because I know what's going to happen, I'm leaving behind or out of the picture what God's miracles and blessings can be. So letting go of the schedule being a routine and instead choosing for that schedule or that specific game plan. Let's put a game plan. And for that specific game plan for the days ahead as just a plan. And like any plan, if I need to reassess it, then I will.
I love that. It makes me think about a podcast that I've listened to with Ben Greenfield. And he said in a similar way how he lived his life very much in routine and in structure. But it took away from the moments of life, like the moments of him being with his children or being with his wife, wanting to just like cuddle in bed for the next hour because you're just so focused on the next thing. And then with that, you lose the present moment. It's like you're trying to be responsible by like staying true to your word, but in that you're actually being irresponsible because you're missing out on the blessings of life. And I'll have to say that you've done a really great job on this so far. I feel like since we've had conversations about this in the past where it's like you don't have to be like so structured, and like I appreciate it. I mean, there's like that fine balance, like what you're saying, because if you don't have any structure and any routine in your day, it's very easy for things just to get lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
Like you'll find yourself just scrolling on Instagram, or not you, but in general, like binging on Netflix. So it's important to have those guardrails up, so to say, but to give yourself that flow. I'm excited for you to really take that on.
Yeah, me too. Which also, it prompts me into stepping into my feminine and stepping into my queendomhood, queendomhood. Yeah. That space, to be in a space of like, there can be chaos. It doesn't have to be so structured.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
My turn.
Did I pass?
This isn't a passing thing.
Okay. Question number 2 for Lauren Fitzpatrick.
Question number 1.
True. What door are you grateful that opened this year?
That's so funny because I literally wrote that. Wasn't part of the questions, but I wrote that one because it just like came to me. What door am I grateful for that opened this year?
Yeah.
I'm really grateful for many doors. I think specifically this one that we're currently in right now of recording the podcast. This has been a dream of ours for such a long time. And also to be building alongside our relationship programs as well. And I think it's just, again, it's been literally on our hearts for years to create something really fruitful, and not just financially, but like in our hearts. So to really just have this time to be able to grow stronger in our relationship and also to share our relationship with the world. I think that's a beautiful door that I thank God for every day.
Yeah.
That I have this opportunity to step into that.
Yeah, and I acknowledge you for it. You have a number of things that you're working on, and you have responsibilities and people that you're being held to account to. And these are projects that we're not necessarily getting any immediate return from. Like we have people listening, and we have a growing community, and we have this passion and this dream, which is everything. But at the end of the day, like we're moving towards a vision. There isn't anything that once we're done here, it's like, okay, the result is the podcast, but there's nothing that's like right there. So I acknowledge you for stepping into it and for trusting in this process, and even with the hours and the many failed recordings. the audios and the videos and different things that just broke down throughout the process. And I'm sure we'll eventually also continue to as we grow. I acknowledge you for showing up. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
I appreciate the acknowledgement. All right, question number 2.
Sure.
What new thoughts will give you an edge in 2024?
What new thoughts would give me an edge in 2024? First thing that came to mind was those new beliefs that we replaced at Tony Robbins at UPW. And to get an edge, to get an advantage for my 2024 is to really hunker down on the belief that God is providing resources and his favors upon everything we do, and that there's blessings and miracles happening that are beyond my understanding.
That's an edge.
That's an edge. To not have to be the one to come up with the solution or have the way like planned out, to really be in a space of surrender and trust, but with that consistent, like, it's not even a belief, because like I feel like a belief needs to be protected. I guess it's like how nurturing this belief over time where the belief becomes a knowing. And we've been working on that for the past year or so, like really hunkering in on that seed. But I think that that's going to be that belief that 2024, I'm going to really just focus in on and full surrender and full trust.
Love it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. Cool. Question number 2. Also, to feel open to just do any follow-up questions. I had one that came up for the podcast and I didn't ask it. I'm like, oh, I didn't ask that.
You want to
For the
ask it
future.
now?
That's okay. We can keep moving forward.
Okay.
What's a new skill you wish to develop?
A new skill I wish to develop. I don't know if this is a skill, so to say, but outsourcing effectively.
Okay.
Is that a skill? I feel like it can be because,
totally,
right, like
totally.
I'm in this position within the yoga studio and the marketing company that I'm essentially like building alongside of it, where I have been wearing so many hats, and it's been draining. And so now I'm at this place where I do want to continue to do what I do, but I also want to support people who are really passionate in content creation and in writing and like all these different avenues that I currently have my hands in. I really want to support people who are passionate about that, really be in that field, and really just to pour life into them and also give them proper direction on how to execute in a way that is needed. And I feel like that definitely takes skill. I remember a good friend of ours saying, specifically when you outsource from, let's just say overseas, that you have to be very like direct on what you want. And I think whether it's overseas or not, I think there's so many expectations in business where I desire it to be a certain way, but I expect you to know how I desire it to be instead of like actually sharing you like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, like how I'm desiring it. So just really develop my communication skills and really take that on and outsource in a effective way.
I love that. And that's so human of you to expect other people to know exactly what you want.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that I learned only because I was on the opposite side of it. It's like I'm getting direction and it's not really clear direction. And then I have to revise it a bunch of different times.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you just told me this from the start, then I would have been able to do it correctly.
Yeah.
And that goes with anything in life, right? Relationships or family, right? If you're just open and clear on your needs and what you're desiring from the moment, it's very easier to follow through on it than just playing the guessing game.
Sure. Yeah, that's rude. Leaving people in the gray. And it sounds like, for me, it sounds like what you're pointing to is much more than the recruiting or the outsourcing, more so leadership.
Yeah.
Because like the outsourcing is the process of bringing somebody on board, and what you're saying you want to improve upon: communication, clarity, direction, purpose, team building. Like those are functions of leadership.
That's true.
Well, what kind of difference would that make for you within the organization to develop that next level of leadership?
So much. I mean, I'm already seeing it. I'm just stepping more into the things that I really enjoy doing like what my heart calls me to do, which I know that I am a leader. Like I've trained myself over the years to be a leader, and I love pouring into people and I love supporting people. And I just know that will be so fulfilling for me, where that's going to pour into every other area of my life, my relationship, my family, friends. I'm not going to feel drained after a day of work because I'm actually in the flow, in the zone of genius and like what I truly desire. And so it'll make a big difference. Which I'm excited.
So good. I was literally just making my shake, which I'm so hungry and it's like pulling my face over here. But as
I told him that he shouldn't eat a shake because he'll have blue teeth.
Yes, so
you would though.
I know I would, especially if you zoom in on it. So thank you for looking out for my good looks. I appreciate that.
I got you, babe.
But I was thinking before how I was looking at my next, like today, tomorrow, and actually this next week is super fulfilled. Like there's a lot happening throughout my day, and I haven't had a day like that in a while. And I remember looking at my calendar in the past that it being so filled up and feeling the sense of like ugh, and looking at it now, I was like whoa, like awesome. So it's like what you're pointing to, that sense of it's like energy fulfillment. Yeah, that's great. I love to hear that.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see how you develop your leadership and how it also supports us.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're a great leader already, so
thank you. All right, these kind of sunk to the bottom here, so let me grab one. Right, yeah, it's your turn.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
the suspense builds. What am I gonna get right now?
Ooh, this might be I'm curious for this one for you. What do you need to spend less time worrying about?
What do I need less time worrying about? Easy, finances. Finances. There's and it goes right in line with that other question that you just asked me before around the belief, because I've only known for a very long period of time that time equates money. And that's a mindset that most of us in the world have, unless we have come from some sort of business ownership or we developed that sense of business ownership. But the belief that the only way for more income to come in is through my time being traded is something that I see now like really unraveling and starting to get rid of. I'm working with a very close friend of mine who's successful at trading, and he's teaching me the ropes. And one of the things that we're really diving deep on is that philosophy that somebody can make their month income in a trade.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Like that is so perplexing to think about. And as I say that, it's like, why is it perplexing? It's just because of the way in which I've been brought up, and just because the way society works. And again, this isn't to bring anybody down. Like, we're doing the absolute best we can. It's just there's a game to it. There's a game to it, and money's one of those things that without the proper understanding of the rules, then I could be quote unquote winning at the game, but realizing the game that I'm playing is not necessarily the one I want to be in, which is actually where I was at.
So you're letting go of worrying about finances. So then what is replacing that?
The worry? What's replacing the worry? The belief that God is pouring favor over everything that we do. And that as we bring the absolute best of who we are, trusting that God is the one that's moving miracles in mountains, we're bringing value to the marketplace. Like the amount of messages and the connections that we get from people telling us that what we do supports them. And like, we're just scratching the surface with what we're creating. So as we bring that level of value to the marketplace, that's going to allow more of the finances, the energetic exchange called money, to flow in.
I feel that. Yeah, we've definitely gone through a huge shift of mindset these past few months, and I'm excited to see what the end of 2024 is going to look like. I think the biggest belief that you've supported me in realizing as well is like, my livelihood does not depend on my finances. And even though that finances, like, it is semi up there with oxygen in regards to like money can buy a lot of things that make a fulfilling life, right? Like, if I had an excess amount of money, the trips that we would take with our family, the memories that could be created. So I think when people say like, you don't need money to make you happy, I think absolutely no, you don't. However, it can be an access to do incredible things and create incredible memories and serve people, like, and give back to the world. However, it's not, when you don't have the abundant amount of it, it shouldn't, and it won't now affect my overall well-being, because I don't place all my eggs in the basket of money brings me happiness or money is my livelihood, right? There's something so much greater beyond that, where in the past, if I were to be honest, like, I would do my monthly budgeting. This is probably about a year and a half ago, when I was going through my health challenges and I was like rarely working. And it was like fight or flight would come over my body. Wouldn't really help me with my health at that point, but it was kind of just an automatic experience of like, I need to do something, like, and the brain doesn't know the difference. Right? So it's like, I got put into that state of fight or flight. My body thinks I'm literally like running from a lion right now, dying. And so it's interesting to see how much I was living my life that way. So now it's just like, okay, like, it's going to be figured out. Like, what's the worst that could really happen? You have to ask for support.
Right.
And that might be actually someone's blessing for us. So it just has really transformed in the past few months, and I'm really grateful for it, and I'm excited to see how it continues to evolve for you as well.
Of course, and just an acknowledgement for you. You've done an incredible work at transforming that belief for yourself.
Thank you.
And just who you are is around finances is a complete different human being.
I really am.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And money's flowing in.
It is. Literally. So.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Wait, you go. You ask.
No, you just asked me what new belief. Yeah. So I ask you a question next. That's right. Okay, cool. Now, for the audience listening, I wonder which one's your favorite question so far and what's sticking out for you. Okay, so what part of you do you want to express more of in 2024?
Oh, I love that. My feminine nurturing side.
What would that look like?
It would look like not as much doing, way more being. It would be serving more of the people that I love.
Yeah.
And giving back more and dancing more and really tapping into the sensual side of myself as well. Like, I feel it like deeply rooted within me. And this is like another reason why like outsourcing and really placing people in the position to empower them is really going to support me, because I have like a whole list of things that like I want to do for people and get back to people and buy gifts for people. And I just haven't been able to put my energy towards that. I haven't made it a priority because other things have become a higher priority. And so I'm just really excited to tap into that more and to really be a service at home as well, and like just cook and really make our home a home, even though it already is, but like even more of that.
Yeah.
And who knows where we're going to be, which is a different conversation, but wherever we're going to be, that's going to be home, and really just to tap into that feminine side.
So let's say that we are on the road and there is no home outside of what we're bringing, like us, to whatever house we're stepping in. How would you bring that sense of feminine into the expression?
I think that's going to happen when, I don't know, because it's something that I don't really know. I think just being present with the experience. Cool. And like just adapting. Like, I know like when we do start traveling, there's going to be moments where it's going to be uncomfortable, because I've been so comfortable in our home. We created such a beautiful home, but I know that there's going to be moments where that comfort is going to be gone. So it's just finding the comfort in the discomfort. And yeah.
No, last night we were chilling here, and as we were laying on the couch, I was looking around, and we have Christmas decorations up, which we've done a great job at putting together.
You're welcome.
And
fashion was the Grinch.
I didn't grow up in a country with a Christmas tree. Like, it's not it's not what do you call like priority. Like I set up my baby Jesus over there, and he's got his nativity set, and like that's my focus. And there's nothing wrong with the Christmas tree, it's just not.
We actually learned, side note, so last night we watched a great movie. I just think it aligns because,
Yeah,
Christmas
share
stuff.
yeah, share it a lot.
I actually forget what the movie was called.
A Boy Called Christmas.
A Boy Called Christmas. It was a great movie, and it actually made me question, who is Saint Nicholas?
Yeah.
And like, where did this big fat Santa Claus come from?
Yeah.
And so we did some research, and we actually found out that
Santa Claus is real.
Santa Claus is real. No, it's fake.
Really though, it's real.
Saint Nick is real.
Saint Nicholas. Yeah.
Saint Nicholas, and he was a saint who would love to give back to kids, and so he would get kids presents, and it actually happened right on the 8th.
Yeah, and it's much deeper than that. Really quick, because it's much deeper than that, because he was fighting against the Reformation of the church back in like the 1800s. So like he stood for what the doctrine of the Bible was talking for, and when you have these other people coming and trying to change it, he's like, no. And the doctrine of the Bible is a lot about love and giving and taking care of those in need, of those that are in need. And that's where he became a patron of the children, taking care of the kids, the ones that were in need.
Yeah. And so then it happened on
the 6th.
I thought it was
December
8th.
6th.
Okay, regardless,
Whatever
in the
date.
beginning of December, but now they just tied it into when Jesus was born.
Correct.
Quote unquote, because that's also not fully correct either. But and so we just celebrate. Anyway, going back to this. Is it my turn?
Santa Claus is real.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, because I just asked.
Okay. Dun dun dun.
Some like Christmas music in the background.
Be a good idea. What made you feel alive this year?
What made me feel alive this year? Whew. Oh man, the first thing that came to mind was. So two things came to mind right away, and they're both like physical, visceral experiences. One was being in the lake, in the river outside of Castle Grace, right? Castle Grace, yeah, in Colorado, visiting our friends Max and Co. And we did a Max and Company.
Oh, I was like, who's Co? Okay.
But yeah, that was that sense of aliveness to get up, and the first thing that we would get was this rush of pretty cold water coming from the mountains in Colorado. Water. And it wasn't like a weak stream, it was a river. Like if we weren't careful, it could have easily taken us downstream. So that made me feel alive, for the sense of like being in nature. It was also
we were submersed in nature. Like this home is such a beautiful home that they created, and it's literally in the mountainside in Colorado. No other homes around, just full nature with a creek like across the street.
Yeah, it used to be the home of someone that used to deal marijuana way back, like, because it just goes to show like the home was dope.
Oh my gosh.
It's not them. They moved into this home. The home was actually deserted, or not deserted, by vacant when they moved in. But so that's one. And then the other one was when we were hiking. We were hiking up in Colorado as well with our friends Sarah and Kobe. Mm-hmm. And specifically, we hiked for like 2 hours to get to the top of this mountain for there to be a massive lake up top.
Yeah.
That was beautiful for me. I've never done that before. Because to know, like, conceptually, that we just climbed up that much to find this lake, which also was freezing, and we went in and did a nice little cold plunge there. Literally, snow right around us. And when we
had to walk through snow at the top of this mountain, and it was
June,
almost July.
Oh yeah, almost July. So it goes to show you how high we were, and just to feel the water and to feel the nature again. It was just a good reminder for God's always providing. There's such an abundance.
There's so much beauty.
So many miracles, so many things that are unknown. There was this piece of wood with big scratch marks. Definitely a mountain lion roaming nearby. But besides the point.
Amazing.
Cool. Next. What grace was I granted this year?
I was definitely granted patience,
Mm. How do you mean?
and I'm still being granted patience.
How do you mean?
Just with everything unfolding, there's a lot in my life that I just wish would happen like right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, why aren't things moving into place as soon as I would like them to be? And I'm realizing it's just because God is preparing me and the people and the places and the things to be at the right time.
Mm.
And I've learned to have patience through that, right? Like you've had many opportunities come your way where we're like on the edge of a seat, like, oh, is this it? Like, is this it? Is this it? Like literally probably like 8 different things. And none of them have really flourished in
No,
this moment.
they haven't panned out and
But
what we were expecting.
yeah, yeah. And it's funny just how like we can create these narratives in our head and how
Mm-hmm.
I've created these narratives of like envisioning like what could be. And then all of a sudden I'm getting tied to that vision.
Yeah.
And so then when it doesn't happen, it's like my world crumbles. And I'm like,
Mm.
no, I'm back to square one again. When in reality, I'm in the same exact spot. Right. And so um, I just feel like I've been granted a lot of patience and a lot of trusting and just like releasing.
Mm.
I've we've been contemplating on this. I mean, we've kind of dropped some hints, but like what we're going to do next in our life, in our adventure of life. And I've been really wanting to know all of the answers for that as well. And I just keep feeling like this deep knowing of like, just wait. You're not meant to know right now. Be present. Be here. You don't need to rush it. And so I have really, as much as I've been like grappling with it and like, God, why? I'm like, okay, like just like surrendering to it and releasing it.
Mm. Now, interesting way for you to answer that, because somebody would say that patience is a skill you develop. They say it's a virtue. But the question is, what grace were you granted? So help me understand, like, because you were granted grace, like, how does that show up for you as patience? For someone that is out there, like, trying to maybe develop something that is not for them to develop.
I'm kind of confused by the question.
Yeah, okay. So you said you were granted patience as grace.
Yes.
Granted mean given by who or what? Like what opened
God.
up the space for you to be in that space of like trusting that not happening now, could happen down the road whenever it happens.
God.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I don't really know how to answer that.
That's a very direct answer. Yeah, again, because some people may be caught up in this place of like, it needs to happen now. Maybe they were in your place where you
And I was granted grace through patience.
were granted grace through patience. Okay, sure. I'm not trying to
Does that
find any
make
right or
sense?
wrong answer. It's a great response. I'm listening for somebody that's at home that is in this space of like, I need to develop patience. How was she granted patience? Because again, people get caught up in like, I have to be the one to develop things sometimes.
Yeah, it's just like surrendering to the greater plan.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Sounds like a deeper sense of faith for you allowed that sense of patience. Great.
Okay.
You're
Next.
up. Yes, ma'am.
Jingle, do you hear it?
I'm sure you do.
This is funny that you got this one. What is a new routine that can ground you in peace and joy?
What is a new routine that can ground me
I
in
just
peace
laughed
and
because
joy?
the first question was like
Right.
that you want to get rid of routine, but
Yeah. Well,
practice or routine.
yes. Yeah. It's like that distinction between it being a cage and it being a structure to support. Because I believe, again, structure is very supportive in creating support and moving progress forward. A routine to develop specifically what? Peace and joy.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What's a new routine to develop peace and joy? Oh man. I'm like trying to like think of the big answer. It's like, what have we been doing the past week or month that has been supportive, and it's prayer. Like that's brought so much peace and so much joy to my life. And I'm looking to also now expand upon that. So how can we just finished the 40, draw the circle, the 40-day prayer devotional today. So 40 days of straight prayer, which was beautiful. And now we're looking to do that with others, create a small, intimate group of people that we can have a similar experience with. And that will bring me joy and peace. And again, prayer is powerful, but it also creates a deeper level of relationship and community with the people that we're going to be with. So that is a routine or a practice that I am really looking forward to continuing to go through. Because even just yesterday there's so many things that are moving. Like for me, I'm in a space where it's a lot of, I'm like swimming in uncharted territories. And it's been so cool because it's been like, sometimes I'm like swimming and I see a shark underneath and I'm like, ah! I actually had a dream where I was literally swimming and there was animals underneath me. And I went from fear to full acceptance. And I woke up and I was like, okay, cool. Just keep swimming. You're good. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. So yesterday I'm by the pool and I'm about to start to work on some projects. And I got so overwhelmed. And I was like, oh my God, okay, this is where I turned to prayer. And I literally took a couple breaths, prayed, acknowledged, requested, gave thanks. And within 2 to 3 minutes, I was like, okay, overwhelmed God. Where I think in the past, I'm like, okay, let me get to work now. It's like, no, slow down, pump the brakes.
I can really relate to that of just like when you're feeling that sense of overwhelm on overdrive. Okay, I got to do it right now. I got to figure it out. I'm going to figure out the answer, which could be powerful. But at the same time, if you were just to take the 3 minutes, 2 minutes, to just set an intention. If prayer is too big of an action, just set an intention for what you're about to go do.
Or just regulate your state.
Yeah.
Like even if that's too deep, and that's ultimately what I was doing. I was, from a physical standpoint, like taking in deep breaths and regulating my nervous system and doing some alkalizing breathing to really trigger my parasympathetic system. For me, then bringing the spiritual of, okay, let me just put this at the feet, because why am I carrying this burden? By grace, I don't have to, but by my humanity, I should. Like, no, let's at the feet and let me just surrender.
Love that. Happy for you.
Thank you, baby. Appreciate that. Do I go? Didn't you just answer? Oh yeah, that's right. I keep getting this confused. This is challenging stuff, guys. Okay, what is an accomplishment you're proud of?
An accomplishment that I am proud of. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is just in the workspace, like a year and a half ago, and my health. I'm really proud of my health. The things that, I mean, I went through a really big challenge, and I mean, I shared it here and there through social media, but honestly, it was challenging to even talk about it because I was still in the health coaching space, yet I was going through a lot of health issues. And so it was very like conflicting at times. But I was dealing with crazy migraines, and it really put me out for a long time. And not just like, and they would get triggered when I would be outside and I'd be in like the humidity or outside for a while with the sun, or if I elevated my heart rate high, specifically when working out. So the two things that I absolutely love doing and like being outside and moving my body, it was like I couldn't do those two things anymore without being in pain a few hours later. And like, well, you know, when you have a headache, you can't really like function properly. And so,
especially a migraine like you were getting.
Yeah. And it was just like a really, really big challenging time. And it got to a point where even I wouldn't go outside. I wouldn't go to the gym, but I would still get a headache. And so I did a lot with my health over the past year and a half, where like I really treated my body as a temple even more than what I was doing, and properly detoxed my body. And now I am so grateful. I'm so grateful that I'm able to move my body. I just went for a run this morning, and every day it's just like, wow, I'm so grateful for movement, which has led me to really be able to be very active in my career path and in the things that I enjoy doing, like this. Like, if I were to try to do all the things that I do now, then forget about it. I'd be in bed for days, super fatigued, and my adrenals would be shot. So just really grateful for my health.
Yeah, very cool. I'm excited to have a similar conversation with Krista, because I know she was a big support to you. She's going to be one of our guests in the very near future. So looking forward to that, because I saw, and I had a lot of compassion because you were so excited to move down here. And me too, but like you were so excited to move down here, the weather, the change. And we come down and it was like, what the heck is going on? Winter was great, but then as spring and summer started to kick up and the humidity started to rise, you were getting hit left and right.
Yeah.
And this is also, you were already getting hit because of the working out and everything. So it's like to see you go from this high level of excitement to be here to like, whoa, like what's going on?
Yeah, my health took a really big toll.
Yeah.
And not only that, but I mean, maybe it had something to do with it. Of just like, then I started working from home and my neck started becoming super weak and out of place. My hip flexors were shot. So I dealt with like one thing after another. And I'm still recuperating.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm still working with it. But yeah, very grateful for that. It's all a lot better.
Lip neck is real. You don't want to get limp necks, kids. I remember going into New York City, how it said "Don't get limp neck," and it was a picture of a person like this.
Yeah,
you remember that?
it's pretty
I always
crazy.
just laugh at that because nobody wants limp.
No one
necks.
wants limp neck. Wait, I asked you.
Yes, you asked me.
How many more do we got? My hands can't.
Crazy. We're only 44 minutes in. If you're still watching, man, we're so glad that you're here.
Yeah, this is fun.
And please let us know what question sticks out to you the most from yourself in your life.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
What are 1 to 5 adventures? You said yes to this question. What are 1 to 5 adventures you are going to take with your spouse, family, or friends this coming year? I feel like we can't actually answer this one completely because we haven't planned it out yet.
I mean, I can tell you the overarching adventure that I'm excited for.
All right, what is it?
It's to not have a home, to not have a house, to explore the world. That's an adventure I'm looking to explore. In all reality, I also want to go see my family a lot in Colombia. That's going to be really cool to see my family whenever that is. I haven't seen some of my family. I left my Colombia and some of my cousins were just like late teenagers. And now they got kids. And I haven't seen them in 15 to 16 years. And I see some pictures and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is incredible because you look the same, but you're just older, which is cool to see. I speak with some of my cousins and their kids, and I don't know their kids. So to see them, to know them before as late teenagers, literally my cousin having parties all the time, and me being the annoying cousin trying to be in there, to now having 2 kids. It's like, it's so cool to see that. So that's an adventure I'm looking forward to.
So Colombia.
Going to Colombia, yeah. Yeah, it's an adventure. To also have you experience Colombia.
Yeah.
And to have my family get to know you and my uncle to try to speak to you in Spanish slower so that you would understand. True story, my uncle thought that if he spoke to her in Spanish slower, Lauren would understand him. So literally, he would just be having conversations with her super slow
in Spanish, and I'm still like, I have no idea what you're saying, but I'll just shake my head yes.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to learn how to speak Spanish. Okay, so Colombia. Anywhere else that you're looking to take me?
Specifically, I'm looking to take you. Yes, baby. Yes, I mean Costa Rica. That's another thing I'm really looking forward to be in the jungles. I also want to go to a cruise. I've never been on a cruise and I've always wanted to be on a cruise.
I know you have always wanted to go on a cruise.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's a couple of adventures. I mean, I could go much in detail, but we'll just leave it at that. Leave it at that for now.
Okay.
Yes.
Ask me.
What do I need to spend less time doing next year?
Being on social media. Yeah. I love what one of our friends said recently. It's like, this is the real life highlight reel. It's like, yeah, it's so true. You know, I watch so much on social media, and I miss out on the present moment. And specifically with the line of work that I do, I'm always on social media. And that's why, if you're watching and I haven't answered your text message, it's because I'm always for work on my phone. And I just want to be disconnected from it. I'm like, if you want to talk to me, just call me, because it's hard to balance all of it for me in this current moment. You know, I think back to like when we didn't have cell phones and how great that was. Of just like, you tell your friend to meet you somewhere and that's where you would meet. come over at 5, and they would show up at 5. They weren't going to text you, what are you wearing? Or who's there? Or, like you just show up, like you're not so like thinking about that. Or it's excitement. Like, I don't know who's showing up. I'm going to be surprised. Like, we need to know all the answers all the time. Tell something that like ticks me off. It's all the questions. Even though I do it too, I'm guilty of it. So, but yeah, to be off of social media more and just to embrace reality in this current experience.
Which goes in line with the one skill you're looking to develop on the leadership side.
Yeah.
Because, hey, look, if she hasn't responded to your messages, me neither. There's some times where I send her a message and I'm like, hey, did you see my text message?
Oh, yeah. Sebastian would get really like upset about that, actually.
It's so frustrating, but I get it. Like, now I understand. And mind you, we were living together. I mean, this like, has been a thing that's been.
You don't need to text me. Just call me. Yes, it's not just you. If I don't answer you,
it happens to everybody. I promise you.
Yeah.
But you're also getting better at it.
Trying to. Like, my messages probably have like 12 on them right now instead of 97. So.
Agita.
It's reality.
Appreciate that.
Okay. Is this the last question? Do you have one more? I think this. Oh, no. I think we got 2 more each.
Sure. I got a couple more.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You could ask me more. I like talking.
Okay, cool. I'll go next then.
Okay.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Okay. Who did I serve well this year?
Who did I serve well this year? I would have to say I did my best to pour into people at the yoga studio. And we've had a lot of challenges. And so just did my best to pour into those people, speak life into those people, speak hope into those people. I would also say that I served you well this year.
Oh, you definitely have, baby. You definitely have. See these muscles?
I feed you. Like, eat more.
It's not that I don't eat.
No, I know. You
she wants me to eat more.
I just want you to eat more. No, I don't want you to eat. I just want you to eat what's right for you, because you've had busy days, and I enjoy serving you, and I enjoy creating food and making a home.
It's a blessing. I appreciate you stepping into this motherhood, and I know we spoke about this in the past.
Motherhood, that's different.
Well, yes,
eventual. What does your aunt say? Mother in training.
Yeah. MIT. That's awesome that you said about the service of the people at the studio, because like that goes to show again the leadership that you've developed. You've done a great job at that. You're a grounding presence in the studio, and the business runs like it does, and you have a big part of it to do with that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. It's been fun.
Good job. Yeah. Way to expand yourself.
Thank you.
Get uncomfortable and have some conversations that not necessarily were natural.
Yeah, for sure. What struggles gave you power?
Sheesh. What struggles gave me power? I mean, I'll say one that just happened recently, because it's kind of like a big, it's like a summary of this past year, the challenges that I faced in the latter part of it, which it's so funny to say that, because like challenge that I faced is like, no, I opened up the space to be where I was at. It's so funny. But I was given an opportunity to join a company, and it would have been a probably 6-figure plus salary, but it's not in alignment with what I'm looking to do. It's not. It's like, it's the money, sure, but I stepped away from the money because it wasn't touching this. And this opportunity that opened up was doing the same thing, was not touching this. So to be in that space where I was like, okay, this is interesting. I have opportunity to say yes to this. And yeah, it could set me up financially. Yeah, it could give me security. It could give me peace of mind with money. But it would literally take away everything that we're creating. It would divert my energy and attention to things that aren't necessarily purposeful for me. that don't move and drive my vision and are not in alignment with my future. So that was a struggle, because it's like I'm at a fork here. It's like I got this one telling me one thing, this other one telling me another thing. What do I pay attention to? And it goes right in line with another of the questions around prayer, where as I sat and I prayed and I really sought guidance and direction, it's very clear that the safety and security that the money would bring was not worth everything else that it would cost.
Been a big theme. I'm excited to go back after a year and re-listen to this.
Oh, me too. Me too. God's been pumping the well. Let's do one more each.
Okay. Better be a good one. You can't read it.
At first, I thought it said, "What bandanas should you set?" Boundaries. What boundaries should you set?
Boundaries. I was so nervous to create boundaries.
Share more. That's a big question.
If you were part of the Awakening Bodies retreat, I believe the first one, you know that was like a big thing that I was personally working through, of overcoming the fear of setting boundaries. But we did it. And it's opened up so much in my life, and I feel so much more at peace and grounded, and other people respect it and are actually doing it as well. So more boundaries. I think what would really support me is the boundaries of my mind.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is we're on this 5 a.m. wake up call, and you pretty much still are. However, I've been sleeping in until about like 6. That just like is what's been quote unquote feeling better for my body, but I still wake up tired. So what's the difference between 5 and 6? And I feel like I've been like grappling, like even this morning, I was like laying in bed, like half in and out of sleep, of like, what do I want to do? What is my body telling me to do? And I think I just need to make a boundary with myself and my mind, because the mind can go on its own path and dilute the truth and deceive you from the truth. And I know the truth in me is like, in some of these moments, is like, no, there's a bigger calling for you to wake up right now and start your day like you're alive. Like, let's get going. And so I think I need to set boundaries with my own mind and be mindful of what thoughts I'm allowing to control my life. And if it's really the dialogue that is really going to fuel me in that moment and for my greater purpose and my greater good.
That's big.
Yeah.
You make me think of the 5-second rule, and you get caught up in these, because even when you're in bed and you're like, what does my body feel? What do I want to do? Like, that's energy being expended. And in fact, it's actually more, because you've made a commitment. Yes, you in this particular example, but when we make commitments, that commitment's set. And now whenever we go against the commitment, now we're like, we're trying to rationalize, justify, generalize why we should or shouldn't do it. And
our brain ticks that off as like, you're not trustworthy, you're not following through. And I'm like, it's like, I'm aware of all these things. And I think that's what's so can be such a double-edged sword of the personal development space. It's like, yeah, you could know something, but if you're doing it, do you actually fully know it? And like some areas, like, sure, like I take that on, but this is something that I've been struggling with for years. Like for like the longest time, it's been one thing that I've been looking to really transform, and I'm still grappling with it. And so I have grace and compassion with myself, and just every day is a new opportunity to get better and to really align myself. Like the fact that I've been dealing with this is just coming to me now, but the fact that I've been working with this since like 2017, of like desiring to get up early but having struggles too, it makes me think of like, wow, how much the enemy is playing in my life right now. Like if this has really been a calling on my heart for years and I'm still not getting it down, like what has a hold of me right now? That's something for me to
explore.
Yeah.
And
you just watched it on video. I'm sorry.
For those of y'all listening that didn't see, stuck my finger in my nose. Breaking pattern.
Breaking pattern. If you've been to Tony Robbins' work, you know what he means. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for sharing that. That's a
Thank
big
you.
one. That's a big one.
It is. I don't know where it just came from, but that's what's so beautiful about questions like this, because it just opens up your mind. It opens up your heart. It opens up possibility of like, what is available to me right now?
Yeah. And
like, I'm excited to go back and actually rewatch this.
Sure.
And journal some things down. Like, what did I say? Like, what's some of this advice that I need to take from myself?
Because that's the thing. We have so much wisdom and so much power that we just forget it because of the day to day.
Yeah.
But it's so true. Questions direct focus. And the better the quality of the questions, the better the quality of our lives.
Yeah.
So these kinds of questions, I'm glad that we just took this on. And again, this is live. Well, not live, but we're doing this right on the spot. And some of these questions were not easy to answer. And to be able to dive into this conversation together with you watching, thank you for still being here. Thank you for your authenticity and openness. And again, if you're still watching, go ahead and sign up for the newsletter. The questions will be sent to you and much, much more.
Cool.
Anything else?
Yeah, no, I'm good. This is a lot of fun. I think what a great idea would be to save these questions in our stocking.
Let's do it.
So next year we could re-answer them and rewatch this episode and
see how things shifted.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah,
that'd be cool to do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you all for listening. We hope that you have an incredible holiday season. I think this is going to be our last episode that we're releasing until the new year.
We're playing with the idea of doing a live next week.
Yeah.
But it's playing with the idea.
Yeah, we're playing with the idea. We're just desiring to kind of take a step back, be with our family, really just embrace the holiday season, and looking forward to the conversations and all that we're going to have in this next year. We have some incredible guests lined up.
Yep.
We have some incredible offers that we want to share with you, and really just to support you in your walk of life. And so we really appreciate you being here on this journey with us, and we'll see you in the new year. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to follow, like, and subscribe to stay updated on future episodes. And we would love to know how you enjoyed today's episode by leaving us a review. We look forward to continuing this journey of self-discovery and connection with you, and we'll see you on the next episode. Much love.